Smart Solutions. Add-on desires.
Welcome to ADAD Solutions. This is Srikanth for English. The topic that we discuss today is the town mouse and the country mouse. From class 7th, unit 1, reading A. Let's get into the lesson. Before we get into the story, before we analyze the story, before we understand the story, let's look at the picture that is presented on the board. There are a few questions that are to be answered. Let us find out the differences between these two pictures. One is a town and the other is a village. So in the town you find all the vehicles, the lights, buildings, flyovers and the commuters. When it comes to the second one, the village where you find animals, huts and children playing around and a bullock cart, it is peaceful. Did you see here the hills, and whereas here the buildings? You find the greenery, but you don't find any greenery over there. So let us see, write the differences you notice between the things you see in the two pictures. What are the two differences that you find in the picture? Here it seems pleasant, whereas here the city is completely busy. The city is completely busy. See here the vehicles, four-wheelers, two-wheelers, three-wheelers, and here you see the oxen or the cattle. See the huts. Okay, so this is a difference. So you are asked to write the differences between the two pictures. Maybe you may include the things that you already know, the difference between the town and a village. What all present, what all exists in a town, and what all present, what all exists in a village. Okay, and the pollution levels. When it comes to village, what is the level of a pollution? When it comes to a town, what is the level of pollution? Okay, and where do you think life is peaceful? I feel the life is peaceful in the village. What happens in the village? The oxygen is pure. The oxygen is pure. It's good. Okay, you find the streams, you find the lands, you find greenery, you find hills. When it comes to the town, you don't find them. Maybe you may have to cover your face all the time when you travel on the road in the town, because the dust would come and cling on you. Okay, so where do you think the life is peaceful? Do animals feel the same like you? Do animals feel same like us? Whereas in the village, the animals are good, they just go and get the grass. I mean, they take the grass, they eat the grass. When it comes to the town, they don't find the grass, rather they start eating the paper, the posters that are put to the walls, that are stick to the walls. Okay, let's get into the lesson. So the town mouse and the country mouse. The town mouse and the country mouse were cousins. They often wrote to each other. One day the country mouse got this letter from his cousin. Okay, so there are two cousins. There are cousins, who are the town mouse and the country mouse. There are two mice. Okay, so they write to each other. They write to each other. Okay, so what happens? One day the town mouse has written a letter to the country mouse. So what did it write? So before we get on, village means, country means the village. So let's see. Here there is a letter. This is from address. The person who writes the address. Kitchen cupboard, town mouse, 11th March 2012. And this is to address. To whom or to which address this letter is written. And here, if you find there is no apostrophe, you need to make a note. Dear cousin, I have been ill with cough and my doctor feels I need a holiday. He has advised me to spend a week in the countryside. May I stay with you? Please give me an early reply with warm regards. So this is a letter written by the town mouse. It has gone to a doctor, it had seen a doctor, and doctor advised the town mouse to go to the countryside. What could be the reason for suggesting the town mouse to go to the countryside? Maybe the oxygen is pure, there is no sound pollution, there is no water pollution, okay, and the peaceful atmosphere would give some kind of stress relief to town mouse. Maybe its health would be good. Its health would be good. So that is the idea of a doctor sending town mouse to the countryside. That is the idea. Okay, so what happened? The town mouse is ill. Ill means sick, unhealthy. Okay, it is ill with cough, and my doctor feels I need a holiday. And he advised to spend some time or a week in the countryside. Okay, so may I stay with you? So it's the town mouse requested, and there would be an early reply from the country mouse. So here we have homophones. Same pronunciation, but the spelling is different. The pronunciation is same, but the spelling is different. Here you have a word in the previous slide which is advised, which is advised. Let us see the noun form for advised. So advised, this is verb, and V2 and V3 is advised. V2 and V3 is advised. So this is noun form, sorry, the verb form. Okay, advise is a noun. We advise people and we take advices from others, and we are advised to follow this or that. Okay, so that is a homophone. And we are also having another word, weak, and double EE, the time period of 7 days, whereas EA, lacking strength, lacking strength. So the pronunciation for this is weak. Okay, so the pronunciation is same, the spelling is different. They are homophones. We have two which we have picked from the previous slide, advise and the weak, meaning ill, unhealthy or sick. Okay, an example, I felt ill last night. After finishing my work, I went to my home and it was really packed up with the traffic, so I felt ill. Okay, so ill means unhealthy. Affectionately, a feeling of liking and caring. Example, kids have great affection for their parents. Affection, having great affection for something. Okay, sometimes kids would be having great affection towards their pets. Okay, yeah, let's continue with the lesson. Receiving the invitation from the country mouse, the town mouse packed his bag and caught the next train to the countryside. The day was bright and sunny. Soon the town mouse began to feel hot in the train. Okay, so there was approval from the country mouse. As soon as the letter has been received by the country mouse, it immediately gave a reply, my dear cousin, you can anytime come to the countryside. You are always welcome. You are always welcome. Immediately what happened? The town mouse had packed his bags and moved. It had taken the next train and it had moved. But what happened? The day was bright and sunny. The day was bright and sunny. Soon the mouse began to feel hot. The temperature is too heavy. Okay, so what happened? It began to feel hot. I wish there was an air-conditioned coach. He said to himself, I feel very uncomfortable. He wished that there had been an air-conditioned coach. He felt, I would have come by an air-conditioned coach. Okay, as it was bright and sunny. Okay, he felt uncomfortable. Where was he staying? Behind the kitchen cupboard. Behind the kitchen cupboard. Maybe kitchen in the sense it would be cool, right? The water would be present. okay, and refrigerator would be present, okay, and people will be moving around, so maybe the room was cool. So yeah, the town mouse was living maybe in a cool area, so it never expected the day would be bright and sunny. Okay, so he felt uncomfortable. He felt uncomfortable. So you have a few verbs here. Pack, packed, packed. This is V2 and V3. Catch, C-A-T-C-H. Catch, which is V1. Caught is V2 and caught is also V3. Begin, began, begun. Okay, the verbs. These are the verbs which have been picked from the passage given above. Now you are asked to make use of these verbs and write your own examples. Okay, let's continue with the lesson. However, there was nothing he could do about. When the day was bright and sunny, what can we do? Can we go and put an umbrella to the sun? No. Can we ask the sun to be a little less hot for the day? We cannot ask. We cannot expect. Okay, seasons keep moving, seasons keep changing. Okay, so this is what would have. However, there was nothing he could do about it. So he grumbled to himself while the train chugged slowly into the country. Slowly, chuck, 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 chuck. Right? You might have seen the train slowly. It starts chuck, 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 and it starts moving. Okay, check, 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 check. Okay, just like that. Okay, however, there was nothing he could do about, so he grumbled to himself, and the train chugged slowly into the country. The train slowly entered into the countryside. The country mouse was waiting at the station. He was there to welcome the town mouse. My dear cousin, you're coming. It's going to be a great fun for us. Maybe the country mouse was expecting. But what happened here? The town mouse wasn't comfortable. Wasn't comfortable. Where? In the coach. As the day was bright and sunny, it wasn't comfortable. He wished he would have travelled in an air-conditioned coach. Okay, it wasn't good. Oh cousin, the town mouse said as soon as he got off the train. The train was dreadful. I feel terrible hot. It was too hot. Oh my goodness. Maybe as soon as he got down, he put the bag there, immediately, oh my goodness, it's too hot, countryside. You might have said that. And thirsty, and thirsty. I hope you have something ice cold for me to drink at home. Okay, I feel you have some juices at home for me. You might have made things ready. Okay, yeah, you might have some juices, you might have soft drinks which are cold, which are chilled. Okay, right? So it was dreadful and terrible. What was dreadful and terrible? The train was dreadful and terrible. It was unpleasant. It was disagreeable. It was disagreeable. Well, I have some water, said the country mouse. At the countryside, you all the time find the water. At the countryside, you always find the water. Okay, but I can look around for some coconut water if you like. Okay, I have some water, but if you wish, you want me to get some coconut water, I am ready. But what the country mouse expecting? What was the country mouse expecting? Some chilled juices. Some chilled juices it was expecting. Okay. So we have a few meanings that have been picked, few words that have been picked from the passage. Grumble, make a low rumbling sound. Example, students grumble over marks. So this is a word which has been picked from the previous passage, previous slide, where the town mouse grumbles. And here is an example, student grumbled over marks. And we have another, checked, the train slowly checked to the countryside. Move slowly, making muffled sounds. Example, the train checked to the station. Dreadful, extremely bad, distasteful, and unpleasant or unpleasant. The condition of the poor is dreadful during lockdown. The condition of the poor is dreadful during lockdown. Terrible, extremely unpleasant, disagreeable. The weather is terribly hot today. It was disagreeable, unpleasant. So these are the few words which have been picked from the passage. Now you have to make your own sentences using these words and try to get the synonyms and antonyms for these words. Coconut water? Asked the town mouse in horror. Don't you have any orange juice or a lemonade? Don't you have any orange juice or lemonade? Coconut water? In the countryside, people take water or coconut water. Of course, these days people start taking soft drinks as well in the villages. But maybe when the story was written or the writer wanted to convey a message, like in the countryside, people take water or coconut water. I am afraid not, replied his cousin. But the town mouse never wanted to go with the coconut water. The town mouse never wanted to go with the coconut water. But I found a very nice piece of root today and a tender bit of sugar cane. I am sure you will enjoy it. Maybe the mouse would enjoy a root or a sugar cane. So here the reply from the country mouse was like, it had found a very nice piece of root that day when the town mouse arrived and tender bit of sugar cane. There was a sugar cane for the dinner. And I am sure the country mouse felt the food would be enjoyed by the town mouse. Okay, root or sugar cane? The town mouse exclaimed. Root or sugar cane? Don't you have a piece of bread? Don't you have a piece of cheese or anything? No. In the village, maybe they would be getting a sugar cane or roots for the mice. But here, the town mouse is not happy with that. The town mouse is expecting the country mouse to provide piece of bread, piece of cake or piece of cheese. The country mouse said, this is what we eat in the country. So I am afraid you too have to eat this. Try it, it's not bad. Okay, in the country we take this. You may have to try it, not you have to try it. We don't have the bread or the cheese or the cake. You have to try it. That's what the country mouse tells. So I have picked a few words from the above passage. Horror, an intense feeling of fear, shock or disgust. An intense feeling of fear, shock or disgust. I have an example. We don't watch horror movies at night which provoke us to feel nervous. Okay. Lemonade, a drink made from lemon juice. A drink made from lemon juice. People take lemonade in summer. People take lemonade in summer. Tender, showing gentleness, kindness and affection. People are less tender towards animals. Okay. Yeah. Exclaim, cry out suddenly in surprise. Strong emotion or pain. Strong emotion or pain. Okay. So exclaim. When something happens, if somebody wins the match, our friend or our team wins the match, we exclaim with joy. When somebody feels sad, we exclaim with sadness. Okay, yeah. Example, the team exclaimed with joy after winning the match. The team exclaimed with joy after winning the match. Raw, not cooked, in its natural state, unprocessed. Raw sugarcane, they are not cooked, they are in natural state. A few raw vegetables taste good. A few raw vegetables taste good. So the town mouse did not enjoy his dinner at all. The town mouse did not enjoy his dinner at all. He nibbled at the root and the sugar cane and then said he wanted to sleep. He just nibbled. Sometimes when we don't like the food, what do? We just nibble, take a bit, a little. Okay, a little. We take a little after little. When we don't like the food that has been cooked by our mother, when our mother cooks a dish that is not our favorite, which we don't like, which might be your father's or your mother's favorite. So what do? We ask our mother to prepare another. Okay. So here, so it nibbled who? The town mouse nibbled at the food. Maybe the root, the sugar cane, it just nibbled. It never wanted to fill its stomach with that raw food. Okay. The country mouse showed a corner in the mouse hole and said, there you are, you can sleep there. Maybe it showed a small place, maybe on the ground. Okay, so that's where this mice stay, right? Okay, so here the country mouse showed a place where the town mouse could take rest. On the ground, asked the town mouse, do I have to sleep on the ground? Do I have to sleep on the ground? I came from a town, I was sleeping there on the bed, so I came down, doctor suggested me to go to the countryside, I thought you would provide me a bed. But do I have to sleep on the ground? Yes, this is how we sleep in the country. This is how we sleep in the country. We don't have mattresses. We don't have king size or queen size beds. What do? We sleep on the cot or on the ground. Right? So this is how we sleep, his cousin answered. As the town mouse lay down on the hard, cold ground, he suddenly thought of something. Cousin, he called out. Yes, what is it? The country mouse asked. Suddenly, the town mouse, as it was quiet everywhere, the town mouse remembered something. So immediately, the country mouse asked, what is it? So you have a word, nibble, which means to bite gently, to eat or chew in small bites, as I told you when we don't like. So example, kids nibble food when they don't like. Kids nibble food when they don't like. Yeah. Why is it so quiet here? Why is it so quiet here? I don't listen anything in the countryside. There are no vehicles. There is no horn sound. There is no aeroplane sound. There is no train sound. Everything is quiet here. Where are all the cars and lorries? Where are the radios and television and the television? Where are all the lights? What happened? Why is it dark? Why all the lights are put off? Where are the televisions? Where are the radios? Why are the people asleep so soon? This is how it is in the country. This is how it is in the country. His cousin replied, it's always quiet in the country. Sometimes it is quieter than today. My grandfather says that our village is the quietest among all the villages in our district. Okay, so he says it's quiet here. It's quiet. In the village or in the countryside, it is quiet. Okay, and our grandfather says, the country mouse explains that its grandfather said that their village was the quietest village in the district. Oh, is it? The country is a strange place, said the town mouse. But he said to himself, I don't think I like this place. I don't think I like this place. He didn't like, because he expected orange juice, he expected a lemonade, he expected piece of cake, bread or cheese. They are not available at the village. At the village, people live by the raw food, people lived by sleeping on the floor. Okay, I think it didn't like. So you see here, quiet, quietest, quieter. I have underlined them. Quiet is the positive degree, quieter is the comparative degree, and quietest is the superlative degree. Quietest is a superlative degree. Okay, so that's the reason I have underlined. You have all the three forms in one passage. So homophones, same pronunciation but the spelling is different. Example, quiet, quiet. So the quiet adjective means no noise. Sometimes the teacher enters into the classroom and says, quiet. You might have watched the movie Na Per Surya, where the army officer says, quiet, which means no noise. And the quiet here is completely or fully or entirely. Okay, I am quite okay during the lockdown. I am quite okay. Yeah. Right? So there is a verb reply, replied. This is V2 as well as V3. Example, the management didn't reply to my mail. The management didn't reply to my mail. Now you have to make your own examples with the word that has been provided on the board. Try to get the synonyms for them. Next morning, the town mouse found that there was no breakfast ready. There wasn't breakfast. In the village, people don't go with the breakfast, rather they go with the food. Right? Yeah. His cousin told him that they had to go to the nearby farm in search of food. they have to go to the nearby farm in search of food. Okay, we are sure to find something there, he said. A nice piece of fruit or a tender bit of sugar cane. Who said this? The country mouse says. Okay, now we have to go to a nearby farm to find what? To find our food. Okay, could be a piece of fruit or a sugar cane. Okay, a piece of sugar cane that would be tender and sweet. Okay, that would make our dinner delicious. Okay, so that's what was told by the country mouse. But do you think the town mouse would agree? No. Let's see what did it say. But the town mouse had enough. The town mouse had enough. Thank you, cousin, he said. But I think I will catch the next train to home. Next train home. I have suddenly remembered that I have forgotten something. He suddenly remembered. Did he really remember? Or did he really forget? No. He didn't like the root. He didn't like the sugar cane. Okay. He never wanted to go to a nearby farm in search of root or piece of sugar cane. Okay, he never wanted to do that. So, what did he say? He said he lied and he told that he wanted to go home. A few days later, the country mouse wrote to his cousin, the town mouse, here is the letter. Now it is vice versa. The country mouse had written a letter to the town mouse. Previously, the town mouse had written a letter to the country mouse to visit the countryside. Now the country mouse wrote a letter to the town mouse to visit the town. Let us see. A few verbs here. Find, which is V1, V2, then V3. Okay, find, found, found, remember, remembered, remembered, forget, forgot, forgotten. This is also written as forgot. You can also use forgot as V3 form. Write, wrote, written. These are V1 forms. Now make your own examples using these verb forms. Okay, you have meaning here. Have one meaning. Enough. Enough means sufficient, as much as required. I had enough money to buy my dream bike. I had enough money. Okay, I had enough time to have my dinner. Okay, homophone, same pronunciation but the spelling is different. There and there. This is an adverb where it meant place or position. There is a possessive pronoun belonging to. Possessive pronoun belonging to. The spelling is different but the pronunciation is same. Okay, try to make your own examples with the words that have been given. Yeah, now here is the letter. This is a from address. This is from address and this is to address. This is to address. Okay, now who writes a letter? Country mouse writes a letter. To whom? To the town mouse. My dear cousin, I hope you are well. I am worried about you. I would like to visit you and make sure you are all right. With love, your cousin, country mouse. Okay, so he felt, who felt? The country mouse felt if the town mouse was okay. Because he went without eating. Who? The town mouse. Okay, he said he forgot something. Right? So the country mouse was worried about, the country mouse worried about the town mouse and he wanted to find out whether the town mouse was good. Let us see if it was really good. Yeah, the town mouse received the letter and read it. Since he was in hurry, he sent a telegram to the country mouse. Here is the telegram. So the town mouse was busy. Maybe he was busy with something. Don't know what he was busy with. So he sent a telegram. What is the telegram? Overjoyed, come soon, town mouse. Overjoyed, I am happy. I am ready to welcome you. Like you have received me at the station in the countryside, I am ready to receive you at the station in the town. A few days later, the country mouse arrived in the town. He was surprised by the noise and the light. He was surprised by the noise and the lights. Okay, the country mouse now arrived. It was peaceful on the countryside. When it comes to the town side, it was really busy. It wasn't that peaceful. Okay, now he is surprised to see who? The country mouse. Why are there lights even in the middle of the night? It is night, right? People don't require lights. Why did they put on? They could put off, right? They could save some energy, right? But The town mouse said, "This is the town." His cousin replied, "Here there are lights even in the middle of the day." And the lights are on even in the middle of the day. "And what is this dreadful noise that never stops?" asked the country mouse. "There is a lot of sound of vehicles, of aeroplanes, of trains, and people are shouting." Okay, why this dreadful noise which is terrible? Which is terrible. Okay, so he said that never stops. Yeah, homophone, you have one, night and night. The period of time for sunset to sunrise, that is a night. You might be knowing the dark time. Okay, knight is a man who served his sovereign. During the British reign, there were many knights. Okay, yeah, you have verbs receive, received, and received. Yeah, this is V2 and this is V3. Read, read, read. Okay, read, read, then read. Read, read, read. Okay, now you make your own examples using the words. "That is the traffic," the town mouse replied. "That is a noise made by the buses, lorries, cars, and aeroplanes." That is a noise made by cars, lorries, and aeroplanes. Okay, so that never stops. That never stops. People keep moving, so the noise keeps continuing. But the country mouse did not like it at all. The country mouse did not like it at all, because the countryside, it was really peaceful. It was good. "All this noise has made my head ache." All this noise made my head ache. Okay, there was headache. Okay, and he said, "Could I have some water to drink? Could I have some water to drink?" What did the town mouse ask when it got down at the countryside? It asked for orange juice or a lemonade. Here, the country mouse is asking for water. "Why only water?" said the town mouse. "Look at what there is for you. Ice cold lemonade, orange juice, which one do you want?" "I have ice cold lemonade and orange juice, whatever that you like, you may prefer, you may choose." Okay, "Just some water," answered the country mouse. "Some water and a little bit of food. I don't need a lemonade, I don't need sugar, ice cold lemonade or orange juice. I just need some water, not even the coconut water, just water. Just water and a little bit of food." You have verbs here: make, made, made. Yeah, answer, answered, answered. Okay, make examples. "Yeah, I have plenty of food, cousin," said the town mouse proudly. "You can eat as much as you like." Sure enough, the house of the town mouse at the back of the kitchen cupboard was full of most delicious food. Where was the house of the town? At the back of the kitchen cupboard, back of the kitchen cupboard. So I have plenty of food. There is a lot of food. Okay, I am proud to say that there is a lot of food. Whatever that you wish to have, you might take. You might take. Okay, there was a bread, jam, and different kinds of fruit, slabs of chocolate, and huge piece of lovely cheese. "Eat, cousin, eat," said the town mouse. Okay, there was a lot of delicious food. It was really delicious. But do you think the country mouse is happy to take them? It got used to eating roots or the sugar cane. Okay, so that would be tasty for it. That would be tasty for it. But here the town mouse has showed chocolate, huge piece of lovely cheese, okay, jam, bread, everything was there. Okay, so he also suggested to take whatever. But just then there was a sound like a thunder, and the town mouse shouted, "Run, cousin, run." Just then, when they were about to take a piece, immediately there was a sound. There was a sound. Okay, so immediately town mouse told the country mouse to run, because the owner is coming. They are going to open the cupboard. If they see us eating the cheese or eating the bread, they start killing us. They poison us. Okay, yeah, so run. So you have meanings: delicious, highly pleasant to the taste. Example, the dinner was delicious. We went to paradise, the dinner was delicious. We went to Swagat, the dinner was delicious. Okay, we went to Kritinga, the dinner was delicious. Okay, whatever. Okay, so right? Yeah, highly pleasant or tasty. And you know, above all, the food that has been prepared by my mother is delicious. That is more delicious than all other restaurants. Yeah, so slab, a large, thick, fat piece of bread or cake. For an example, I had a few slabs of bread for breakfast. Before coming to the office, I had a few slabs of bread for breakfast. Okay, so now you have to make your own sentences using those words. Yeah, the town mouse pushed the country mouse out through a hole in the back of the cupboard. It pushed, the town mouse pushed it to get out from the cupboard. Okay, the country mouse felt his heart beating very fast. But what was it? He asked. Okay, yeah, they had to run as the owner was coming. They had to, if they open the door, if they find them, find this rat, find this mice eating the bread, they start killing. They start hunting them. In order to make them sure that they are not seen by these people, so they ran away from there. Shh, whispered the town mouse. Wait, wait. Because the person who opened the cupboard was still at the cupboard. Okay, when everything was silent, the town mouse crept out of the hole. He was quite cheerful. Okay, when everything was quiet, when the cupboard was closed, he was okay, he was happy. Yes, we are not seen by the owner. We are happy, right? We didn't get caught. Okay, they were happy. Come out now, cousin, he said. That was only somebody opening the cupboard door. We are safe now. Come out, cousin, come. We'll have the food. That was only the owner who was opening the door. Okay, yeah. But they were not safe for a very long. Twice more, they had to run for safety when somebody opened the cupboard. It was not the once. It was twice, it was thrice. They had to run. Maybe tomorrow morning when they get up for the breakfast, they may have to run again. In the afternoon for the dinner, they may have to run again. In the afternoon lunch and during the night dinner, they may have to run. So the country mouse was out of breath. Yeah, meaning cheerful, happy, extremely happy. Example, I am cheerful about my results. The results were positive, I am really happy. Whisper, speak softly with low voice for the sake of secrecy. Sometimes, you know, we whisper in the ear of our friends. Yeah, example, students whisper in the examination hall. This is the verb V1 and V3. Now you make examples with these words. The country mouse got quite tired of running and hiding. I want to go back to the country. Now the country mouse is not happy. Now it wants to go back to the country. We may not get much food there, but at least we can eat it in peace. We don't get food like cake or bread or cheese. We may not get juices like orange juice or ice cold lemonade, but you know we can eat peacefully. Be it a root or be it a sugar cane. I don't think I like this place. Let me leave. So the next day the country mouse went back to his house in the country and the town mouse stayed in his cupboard in the town, and as far as I know, they did not visit each other again. The town mouse stayed in the town, the country mouse stayed at that country. So they are happy. Okay, the country mouse didn't like the town and the town mouse didn't like the country. They are happy. Okay, so you have verb stay, stayed, stayed, get, got, eat, ate, eaten. Okay, so now you have understood the story. Okay, it's like, you know, people who prefer to stay in the country, they love their place, and the people who stay in the town, they love their town. Okay, and there is a lot of pollution in the town and less pollution in the village. Good oxygen in the village and polluted oxygen in the town. So this is what the writer wants to explain. Thank you.
Add-on solutions. Add-on design.